tonight I wanted to have a little bit of fun, right? Since none of us here are brand new when it comes to the MLS, right? Because there are so many neat things to do. I want to make sure that we have some basics set up for our clients and everything like that. So again, we're taking the basic week 2, but this is,
do you have an extra one?
but this is, oh yeah, sorry. But this is week 2. Are we now point 3? This is our 3rd time through it? Yeah, so it's kind of fun, adding and changing. Okay, so MLS is powerful, right? It's a ginormous program. Most people don't fully
Use all of it.
I mean, yeah, if I had to put a percentage to it, I'd say we probably maybe use 15%, if that, you know? So, a couple things that, if you took the MLS class, which we're hopefully going to offer it throughout the, again, you know, each year we might actually, you know, duplicate some of these classes that were really good. Were you here for that class with the gentleman who showed us how to, like, customize and stuff? Okay. You can fully customize your homepage on MLS.
Oh, I put him in there. I put, one of my geek leads in it. I put him in there.
So, whatever
Because
your
I just
area.
went to this home screen because that's not what I...
Exactly. Mine's customized. That's the whole thing. Whatever you actually use on a regular basis, you can truly put in and take out. Like if you, let's say for example, you specialize in Glendale. Well, it would make sense that put in the hot sheets for Glendale, so you have them right there, so you can stay fully updated. My contacts, I want to know who's been using, who's been on, stuff like that, right? Over here is our listings and things like that, and then down here is the Inman news. I like the headlines, and then I actually go to the internet like he showed us and gets around having to actually kind of pay for Inman like I used to. Inman's one of those things that they have like 5 different versions and you never get the full thing. So you'll join this Inman and then you realize, but I like this one too. So then you have to join that one. And then before you know it, you're actually joined like 5 different Inmans.
Now remind me again, because is Inman like specific for real estate?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the biggest real estate news firm probably in the country. Their like big yearly meeting is giant, is huge. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So, okay, and then down at the very bottom I have some more like the messages and stuff, right? But that's it. That's kind of my home screen. So over here you got customize, and this is literally where you do it, and you can just have fun. On the right hand side.
I see it.
Yep. And that's where you just go in there and have some fun. So you can add gadgets.
Right now?
Yeah. Well, you can do it right now, or if you want to do it later, and then we could, you know, because there's a lot you can. Here, I'll show you. So, for example, add gadgets. Oops, I didn't realize it's been that long. Okay, so add gadgets. So you have add change, my listings, contacts, forms. You know, third party. You've got here's all of them. Okay, so you can add, change, and these are all just one little thing, but once you get it into your system, you customize it again to the details you want. So look at how many you have.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of
What is that
gadgets.
under in change layout?
Okay, on the customize add gadgets, and then over here you can hit all.
And then make your selection.
And here's all the different things you can put on your home screen.
How cool is that?
Thank you. Over here, add gadgets all.
Yeah, and so pick and choose. You could be a minimalist and choose 2 or 3. You could, you know, have them all if you want, and have your home page forever long.
No.
So, but yeah, pick and choose what you want. You know, if it's just taking up space, find out there might be something you might want to more. So, the statistics are really kind of cool. If you really get into it, this is where I'm going to probably create, because remember how you can create a couple of them? That's what I kind of want to do. Because here I started it, but I never finished it. So here you got absorption rate, inventory prices, sale, original to list ratio, and this just naturally keeps you updated. This is the MLS keeping you updated on the MLS.
Yeah, yeah, I was just gonna say right here, prices, a chart with the average and median for a variety of data points, and then I can go in there and just pick my map and save it, and it'll bring that stuff to me, right?
Every time you open the MLS, you'll be boom right there. It'll tell you exactly. Yep.
Product
Cool.
news, who cares?
All right.
Okay.
Now, the next part about customizing your home screen is if you click on the top left on the menu. All right. So right here, any of these stars, you can click on one, undo it. Don't actually click on. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. You click on the menu.
Mom knows I'm a quick clicker.
Go ahead and just click menu again.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the star next to these, if you click it, put, let's say, right, let's do map search. So keep that one there, but go ahead and click the star there. Boom, immediately added it to your top. So if you click on any of these stars, or if you like these, great. If you don't like them, click it. If you want to add more, you can do whatever you want there.
I see.
So then they go
I
up
get
there,
it. It's
like what you
easy.
have there.
This is a
Yep.
dashboard that I
I see.
understand a little bit more.
I see.
Exactly, so if you don't want your hot sheets, see? Hot sheet on, hot sheet off. Hot sheet on, hot sheet off.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, very easy.
Nice.
Yeah, see,
Okay.
I love like multiple addresses, MLS number search. I use those on a regular basis, so I definitely love having those on top. You know, people will send you a list of 10 addresses. It's like, okay, cool. So having it right there, click, good to go. Yeah, so good stuff. All right. Anybody have any information or points from the dashboard or anything like that that they know or want to share or anything else?
Because I'm still learning how to do it.
Yeah. And what's cool about the hot sheets is you can actually choose, like for example, this one, you could run different ones, you can change the settings of it. So for example, why do you think I chose Awatuki?
Because, you know what, and what was interesting, because that's where I was today.
It's for her,
And
the
it's
client she
like,
dealt with.
why,
Yeah.
is it called Awatuki, but yet the address is Phoenix?
Yeah.
I live in unincorporated Maricopa County, but they call it Litchfield Park.
Oh, you actually know it, yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're called, what kind of spots? Oh, they're called county islands.
Yeah.
And the only reason Awatuki has that name is because the people named it. The community made themselves.
Okay.
Well, it's like the same
It's-
thing when you say Arcadia.
It's
You
right
know,
next
there's
to,
not the city of Arcadia, but we know exactly where that's at.
it's kind of,
Uh-huh.
and then,
Like we call San Francisco the city.
And county. Well, San Francisco, I think, one of four.
Well, and that's
city
what-
and county is same boundaries.
say that again, sorry?
San Francisco, the city line and the county line is the same.
It's
Oh.
exactly the same. So
Yes,
they're a
I think
combined
there's
city
four
and
cities
county.
like that,
That's neat.
When
in
we
the
worked
US.
there, we worked for the city and county of San Francisco.
But that's another story.
So they had lots of money.
Okay.
So, speaking of that, that leads to the next thing, so I'll just do kind of his little class really fast. The overlays, that's what that's for, right? So, if you actually, since you have your
Are you
computer
in
open,
quick search right now?
go ahead and, what's funny is that there's not a big difference between map search and quick search. So, I'm technically in map search.
Oh, you're, okay, fine.
Okay. And so, here on the right, do you see where it says overlays?
Yes.
Okay, so you can actually add custom boundaries and custom searches and have them automatically take place if you want, okay? So, for example, let's say you want to know subdivisions, okay? Well, look how far out I am, so that didn't show up very well. But as we
I
zoom
understand.
in, boom, there's the overlay for all your subdivisions.
Oh, that's funny because
That's great.
Miss Sims said, how do I know where the subdivision is? And I go, oh, it's
There
on
you go.
Google Maps.
Oh,
No, it's in your MLS.
Yep, exactly.
there it is.
And then underneath it, it says subdivision maponics. What does that mean?
Let's click it and find out.
Oh, I like it without the lines.
Oh, it gives the names.
Yeah, it gets rid of the,
Well, isn't that cool? That actually tells you.
I like that view better.
So that just highlights them differently?
Oh, okay. Gives you blocks instead of
But
lines.
that's interesting
Yeah.
because look at how it kind of, maybe breaks it up? I don't know, that's.
Yeah, I can't say I fully understand this one
I'll look
yet.
into that more later.
Yeah.
Because actually
That's
what
just-
broke is that where the streets are, it interfered, like whereas here,
Oh, so it gets rid of the streets and
Yeah.
literally just gives you the no, it's still got the
no,
streets.
it does, but see how it takes the actual
It takes all of the
subdivision.
mapping out of the
Yeah.
way and only gives you the main streets. So you
Yeah.
can say from this street to this street to this street to this
And
street.
those are the names of the subdivisions?
Yeah.
That's blurry to me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are.
That's
But that's not all of them by any means. See, there you go.
Oh, wow.
And I imagine if we zoom in and zoom in, we might. There you go. Yeah, see, there's the actual names.
Okay.
And oh, it phases Sunburst Farm,
Look
Sunburst
at that,
Farm,
you
Sunburst
can
Farms.
see the FEMA flood zones.
Yeah. See, these
Is the
overlays
Fisher
are cool.
map in here?
Gotta play with that later.
I don't know, I'm not sure. But here's the cool part.
Okay,
So I, for example, work a lot in the Arrowhead area, right?
okay.
And
Area.
so Arrowhead is more than a one subdivision. It's
Correct.
actually an area, right?
Yes.
And so for me to do that, I went in and created this.
So you just went over here and put active on your status, ran down to subdivision and put Arrowhead in. Is that like you saying?
So overall, there's different ways to go about it. So let me take you back to where he kind of showed us in general. So when you come back to your home screen under menu,
Okay.
over here, where was it? Do you remember, Mom?
I'm sorry, say what again?
It was under do.
Because didn't he,
Do.
I thought it actually had to do
My
with
map
the,
overlays?
Yeah, where was that? I'm blind.
I'm sorry, what are you trying to do again, babe?
I'm blind. Where are the overlays? You create the
Down under
I thought they were-
preferences. Oh, no, it's mine, those are all mine.
My map overlays?
Where I'm blind.
Okay, go under work, first column over there, right? Go
There.
up, right there.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'm blind. I was Jiminy Christmas. Okay. Yes.
Oh, just like an automatic search, only for
All right.
yourself.
So exactly. So then let's create one. So let's go ahead and go new. And this is what's wonderful is you can type in as much criteria as you like.
And you can also use the tool to make your map, right?
Yep. So we could zoom in, for example, oh, here we go. I'll do, what's it called?
Sunbrook or Meadowbrook, or are you looking at Sun City, or are you?
Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and do, Arcadia.
Okay.
Okay, so, where would,
So you're looking at 51, well,
52.
Camelback East
Yep.
Village, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so as we zoom in, what do we actually, there we go, okay? So see how Arcadia is listed there, but it's actually not anything in particular, right? So let's create our own boundaries, I guess, for it. So, what would we say from Thomas, oops, I didn't mean to double click that, my bad.
Well, yeah, gotta get a little
So
closer.
I would say from Thomas. I keep zooming in on X.
Arcadia Manor, Lombardi Estates, Exeter Square. Do you see all of those?
Up to Camelback, you mean, or like from, do you want to come down as far south as Thomas? Well, I mean, you have different parts of Arcadia, so I get it, yeah.
Okay, see, I would say that from here to here,
Mm-hmm.
to here to here.
Yeah,
That's basically my, I don't go south of Thomas when it comes to Arcadia. So I would say from like here to here,
no, go up to, oh, yeah, uh-huh.
to here, and then let's just follow Camelback across to Scottsdale, and then back up to Thomas. Right? So that's like a roundabout version of what I would classify as, oops. Right? And then when you're done connecting your square, you just double click.
Okay, but where's Thomas? That's Lafayette, Exeter, Camelback, Thomas is further down. Oops.
There you go. Oh, yeah, no, you're right there.
Where?
Go ahead and zoom back out. Other way. Yeah, you're in Indian school right here. There you go.
Okay. The polygon, this guy.
Where would you, because you're like on, you're really zoomed in.
Well, I don't know why this isn't a full screen.
Oh,
It did this tabulation thing on me today.
huh.
Oh, there it is. I clicked the right button. But still, this
Zoom out a
screen
little.
seems small, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
so, I would zoom out there.
I still got the hold on the, oh, I can see Thomas
Yeah,
there.
for some reason it's still not utilizing the bottom section.
Can't stretch
Right.
it? No, you can't stretch it.
I don't know why. It woke up this morning in this mood.
Oh,
Okay, so.
oh, hit this, expand all.
Oh.
Update, huh?
Oh, no, 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 that's part of the Zoom, sorry.
Okay.
Done.
Okay. So,
Wait, let me get closer.
tonight, as soon as we finish this, I wanna run an experiment. So I love this. I'll work with you, but I'm gonna let you do the decision making. But I'll partner with you, and then you two can work, and then
Okay.
that'll work. Okay, so when it comes to the overlays, you can do, for example, your polygon, right? And then you can do all kinds of different searches and different actual details if you truly want it. But this just creates an area for you, right? So once you save it, okay, and I'll call this Arcadia, okay? So what really comes in handy is now that we have it, when we do a map search, now you use that. So for example, I want all the active homes that have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and let's just say, I don't want to look at anything less than $1 million. Okay? So we do that search in general, right? And we have 1937. Well, now let's go ahead and choose the overlay. Okay, what happened? Am I zoomed out so far that it didn't work?
I think you have to hold
Oh,
it down.
I thought it,
Or,
See, why is it, okay, why is this not working the way it, I'm missing something tonight, and I'm not sure what it is.
Sunspots.
Could be.
because you have,
Because why is it, why
see,
didn't it,
there's your,
yeah, but why didn't it just narrow down the search to that area, is what I was hoping it was gonna do.
Now that I don't know.
Now, there's a way to do the search in the, okay, I feel like a doofus right now, again.
I forget stuff.
And you told it already that you wanted to use your Arcadia overlay?
Yeah.
This polygon has sides that intersect and it is not valid. I flipped it over, I think.
Make sure, when you make it, when you want to connect the final two, just double click them.
Okay.
So there's one start.
It's there, but it's not moving.
You have one already there.
Oh, delete it, that one before I go. Okay.
And then you'll just do one click to start, and then go to your next. Oh, you have to undo it. Oh, now, see, now you keep clicking. That's where you keep going wrong. You just do one click, and then go to the next spot. Yeah.
Oh, just drag it.
And then you click there, and then you go to your next one, and then,
Oh, wow.
yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's great.
And then if you click there, then you can keep going. Oh, see.
2 clicks.
Yeah. It's because of how you started
2 clicks
it.
to finish.
Okay.
Yes, but
So-
it was how you started it
Oh.
is what made that one wonky. So go ahead and try it again, but this time, okay, so you started nicely in one spot, okay? So now go to the second one that you want. Okay, now go up to the next one. Okay, and then if you're done there, okay, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, now just double click. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, now we're gonna go in and do this price?
Well,
Or
for
just
some
bedrooms?
reason, I'm trying to figure out why my overlay isn't pulling up.
Should you save it?
Yeah, once you're done with the
Oh,
area
all the
and what you want
direct-
to title,
okay.
then yes, you do, exactly. But for some reason, when I went back and I used it in my search, I'm not using it in my search properly, and I'm trying to figure out what I did wrong.
What would it normally do that you're trying to do right now?
It would have just,
Brought up the home.
it would have brought up the active homes in the Arcadia area
In
with
that,
the
in
purple
that
spot.
box, yeah.
Exactly,
Oh, okay.
yes. But I did something silly and I don't know what
Maybe it
it was.
unstarred something.
I just have active that, and then I chose.
Huh.
Is it loading how many are up on the left, on the top, view results?
That was that's in general what there are. That's not in the Arcadia area, unfortunately. Yeah, it didn't update when it was
Oh,
supposed
we
to.
always want at least a one-car garage, eh?
Is there some place over there that we have to indicate the Arcadia?
That's where I don't know what I did wrong. Yeah.
Oh, see, now you don't have Arcadia in there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm doing stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to this.
Well,
So-
they're right in the list.
Yeah.
If you hit list, they're all right there.
But to see the picture.
Well,
Correct?
did yours, and it only showed what was in the overlay?
Uh-huh.
See, I
It
did
only
something.
showed 13.
Yeah, see, I did something weird on mine. I don't know what I did, so my bad. I'm gonna have to come back and figure it out.
Okay.
But since it's 7 o'clock, I want to get to our experiment.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, what is crazy about the MLS? And actually, let me rephrase this. Silence your phone.
This is
Um,
Charlotte.
When it comes to representing people, this is what
Oh,
is
yes,
so
how can I help
unique,
you?
is the difference between representing a buyer and a seller. If we're representing a seller, what is our goal?
CMA.
Well, we're gonna run a CMA no matter what.
Okay.
But if we truly
Oh,
own
we
our
want to
job
price
as a
them
seller,
on the market.
we want to price it well, but we also want to pride ourselves on doing a good job. Like, if Bob Smith comes up and it's us two coming up against him, comps are comps. But I would hope via my extra marketing that I might be able to get a little more money than you, right? I pride myself on my sellers getting them top dollar. Like, on doing listings over the last 2 to 3 years, I've set records, and I pride myself on that. I have the highest sale in Estancia for a single family home, or a one-story home. I have another record I've set records in a couple neighborhoods, and I love that fact, right?
That's great, yeah.
It's cool, exactly. On the flip side, is that a selling point for a buyer?
No.
What's our goal when we're representing a buyer?
When you're representing the buyer, you want to get them the best and lowest
The
price.
best value possible, right? That's listed for $250. Well, screw that. I'm gonna get you a better deal, right? And so we're going on the complete
I said
opposite.
prices are negotiable.
So I want to run a set of comps, and you guys are going to represent the listing. Okay? you're gonna try to get the listing appointment, not the listing appointment, but you want to run comps and convince me to sell it, right?
Alright,
And
where do
then
you
Mom is gonna take that same house and we're gonna run comps for an offer. And I wanna see what we come up with,
live? Okay,
okay?
what's the address?
So, let's find a house really quick, exactly.
This part is not my forte, but I improve a little every time I come here.
This is the fun, this is how we learn, this is how we get good, this is everything. I love running experiments with like numbers and houses and trying to just randomly learn stuff like this. Let's see, let's
Check it out real
go
quick before we start.
auction. Let's see. Woo! These are all the auctions tomorrow.
Wow.
Or by, oh, after tomorrow. Or before
I
tomorrow.
got so excited, I forgot to ask, okay?
Okay, so this one's going up for auction tomorrow. Let's find out what it's worth.
Really?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, all right, thank you.
All right, Mom. So we are running an experiment. Okay?
Okay.
So this is the funny part about our job. When you're representing a seller, what is your goal?
When I'm representing the seller, I
Yep.
want him to get top dollar for his house. So
Good
in
answer.
other words, I have to do my homework.
Okay, perfect. Now when you're representing the buyer, what's your goal?
I still want to get him the best deal.
The best deal possible. No, exactly opposite. Okay, so Marilyn is going to run comps for the listing.
Oh, okay,
You're going to run comps representing the buyer.
okay.
Okay?
So we have an address?
We do. The address is 13626 South 33rd Street. It's Phoenix 85044. All right, and according to tax records, ooh, man, this is a 5,300 square foot house. Whoa! On a 20,000 square foot lot.
Is it in this list? Let me see, I'll find.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, my thing is different than yours.
Okay. So the neighborhood is it's an oh, this is an Awatuki custom home. Let's choose something easier. Sorry about that. This one's awesome, but it's not going to be the easiest. So let's do this one. Let's switch this to a more.
Yeah, I woke her up.
Are we gonna do that address, or you making another one?
I'm going to switch the addresses. That was a really unique custom home. That wasn't going to be easy to run comps on. Let's see here.
Sky's the limit on those. I have a picture of the house that I want when I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
I look at it often.
All right. That's still a huge house. Here we go. Here's a normal home. All right.
Normal home.
So, a couple of these make sense why they may be going to foreclosure. That wasn't it. That was like a $900,000 house, custom home. Okay, so here we got one. This is 685 South 197th Avenue in Buckeye.
685,
South 197th Avenue
in
in
Buckeye.
Buckeye. Yep.
What's the zip?
85326. Okay, this is a 2,068 square foot home on a standard 6,600 square foot lot. Standard Pacific home. And it's-
That one's pending.
okay.
Doesn't matter?
Don't ignore it. I was trying to pick one that wasn't listed at all.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't want you having any information or ideas to go off of. I want you to kind of come up to, like, so you already saw a list price for this home?
Yes.
Okay, let's do another one.
It says it right
That
there.
would have been easy.
And it's pending, but you never know what the price is till it closes.
Okay, so, all right, yeah, but I want to start from scratch where we don't have anything to go off of, all
Well,
right?
then why don't we,
Well,
use
okay.
a closed one
Love that.
from old times?
well, just, but it's still, we're starting from scratch, okay? So literally, you're going from, pretend this was a lead who just called you. And you're gonna go out to their house and you're gonna be listing it.
Okay.
So you may do homework before, but not in this case, because I'm purposely trying to have you come up with a new value. So just the fact that it was a pending one on the other one. So let's go ahead and use this one. Okay, so this one's in Chandler.
It's supposed to what?
Normal home. Good. Okay, so this one's 25. Oh, let's go here. Okay, so it's 2372 West Detroit. And if it is listed, ignore it.
What?
And if it is actively listed, ignore it. Let's
Okay.
and let's see here. Okay, so this is 2,500 square feet, 2,528 square feet on a 7,100 square foot lot.
2372 East Detroit or West?
West Detroit Place in Chandler. Okay, and this one is 2,500 square feet on a 7,100 square foot lot, and it does have a pool and a 3-car garage.
What's the zip code?
85224. Ooh, this one has it all.
Charlotte, you can just put it in, oops, you can just put the address right here.
Yes,
Okay. But that's ideally, well, in our situation right now, in the MLS, well, pretend it was never in the MLS, ideally. Okay, so start off like, yes, okay? I want you guys to not have anything to go off of up front for a price or a
Okay.
value or anything, okay?
Okay.
So if, number one, I would start off with either like the zip code or the neighborhood and pull that up. So like this one is in the Castile subdivision.
Oh, okay, Castile.
Yeah,
Castille?
yep, yep. So if you put it in, just pretend it wasn't there, okay? And you're gonna kind of start from scratch.
Got it.
Okay.
And we're going to be making the presentation to the seller.
Yeah.
So we're going to demonstrate what his competition is. We'd have to select active, this, hold on, more,
2,500 square feet.
pending.
Why don't you go ahead and do that, I'll watch, because I'll just slow you down.
You said, so what is it, 1,900 square feet?
Oh, this one is 2,528.
Square feet?
Yep,
And you said it has a pool?
yeah.
Okay.
What kind? Community, dining, or play?
Single
It
story?
looks like just a basic play pool, 400 square feet. What's that?
Single story?
Ooh, that's a good question. Levels. I'm assuming this is a 2-story. It's a U.S. home, 2,500 square feet. I can almost guarantee it is a 2-story.
Alright, so that'll give me an idea, so let's see.
That's great. This is a good one because, yeah, what kind of bonus are you going to put on a pool? What kind of bonus are you going to put on a 3-car garage? Because in a perfect world, this has, if you're looking for a 2-story home, this would kind of hit all the buttons. 2,500 square feet, pool, 3-car garage. On a good lot. Oh man. And they bought it in 2007 for $87,000. Oh man.
Yeah, I sold my girlfriend one for $97,000. It was, ooh, up in Surprise, way out there on like 176th Avenue. You know where they're building again?
Yeah.
It's like on the way to
Out
Las
Fest-
Vegas?
Out by Fest,
past
yeah.
just past the 303.
Yeah, like Desert
then
Oasis
north?
where they used to live. Yeah.
Yeah, she got it for $97,000.
Sweet.
Well, they wanted
303 wasn't nearly
125,
done
and I
back
got it for $97,000. It was a REO,
Yeah.
and she just sold it.
Was it Asante by chance? Do you remember the neighborhood? Was it Asante?
No, it was
Okay.
north of Asante.
Yes,
Okay.
just
It
past
was
that.
So Desert Oasis.
Desert Oasis.
Yeah, that's where they used to live there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
And
past
so
the
she
fountains.
just dropped it for 240 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So she made herself a sweet deal.
Yeah. If you were willing to go out there at that time, then yep,
Okay.
that was awesome. I wonder, man, that's sad because this is going up for foreclosure, but oh, they refied. That's why.
Oh, these are much bigger.
Oh,
Oh, maybe I did it that way. Maybe I put that in the wrong place. Yeah. that's
So
what I did.
I'm looking at what we want to ask for this home. Is that what I'm doing?
There's 0 matches for me.
You are representing the buyer, so you want to try to get your buyer the best deal you think you can.
Okay.
And if possible, try not to share your final number out loud with Tristan.
Oh, my map. Am I on maps? Because my map is wrong. No, I'm not. Oh, I get it now. Where's my target property?
So many of them have pools or three-car garages. Is that normal for that area, it seems like? Okay.
This is interesting.
Well, there we go. Did you see what I did there?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
But keep going.
Yeah, you don't need to learn this.
I mean, it's fun for me to know more about this as I go, but it's not the part that I do. And I never,
I'm just a balloon man.
yeah, I never have been that high on the food chain, and so I'm just not that good at it right now, and I'd slow you down.
Sounds like you learn very well though, Richard, and very quickly.
Once I get it in, after a lot of repetition, it's in for good.
Yeah. The one night, it was the Realtor Appreciation event for our go-to lender, Keith Cardillo. He's one of our guys. He's our VA. Okay. I had done a lot of business with him, so that year they were doing like a thank you. So there was like four people from our brokerage and a bunch of other bunch
From all
of their
around.
lenders and a bunch of other agents inviting
Makes
their agents, right? And it was a casino night, so they had free alcohol and they had like just roulette table here, and it was all for drawings and stuff like that. It was just a really good time. So I'm there with my buddy Jeff, and Jeff's a ladies' man, so he immediately spots this blonde and starts talking about
Okay.
her and stuff. Well, we know her ex-boyfriend was there,
Oh.
and she was using Jeff to kind of get even with him.
Oh, trying to make the ex-boyfriend jealous.
So
Unbeknownst to Jeff.
unbeknownst to any of us, yeah, exactly.
Right.
So, we ended up throughout the evening. come to find out, we did talk to the ex-boyfriend without knowing it, and I talked to his best friend, and I actually sat and had a conversation with his best friend.
Okay.
So, evening's wrapping up, fantastic night. Of course, Jeff's asking the girl, hey, we're gonna go, I forgot where we were gonna go out to, somewhere else. And we invited her to go along with us. Not thinking anything of it. So, of course, she says, okay.
Right, because
So-
she's playing.
So we're walking out, and two guys are outside. It's like, okay, so we walk up. Next thing you know, they're
Two
right in
angry
front of
guys.
us. And of course, ex-boyfriend is confronting my best friend,
Right.
and we're literally like, I mean, from here to mom is my car.
Okay.
We're like so close.
Yeah, almost out of there.
So close. And he gets right in Jeff's face. So at that moment, I was like, look, and I stepped between him, and I'm like, look, my car's right here.
Right.
We're leaving. We're all good. You guys, it's all nothing. You know, just stop. And out of nowhere, his friend, who had nothing to do with anything, bam! It's like,
okay.
oh! And I look at him, I'm like, you just freaking hit me. and
Probably
and I'm
saw
like,
Fight Club too many times.
and I was like, that hurt. And he goes, bam, hits me again. Exact same spot.
Right.
At that moment, I'm like, that's it. You've assaulted me. I'm calling the cops.
Right.
So I pull out my phone, and of course, his answer to that is, oh crap. So he hits me again, grabs my phone, chucks it,
Wow.
immediately runs back to his car, and tries to hop in. So I'm just mad at this moment
Oh, yeah.
because of just everything.
Did they
So
get the guy?
I run over to my phone, thankfully. 911 was already on there, and she's there. Hello, hello.
Oh, good.
And I start screaming, "I've been assaulted!"
Yeah.
You know? And
It hurts.
he's driving away, and he has this nice Infinity, and I'm just running down the parking lot, screaming his license plate number to the lady.
Yeah, good, good.
Right? And so, and we're about to find out the same thing you guys basically did. So I come back inside and talking to the lady, and she's like, we'll send people, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, thank you. So I go to the bathroom, so I'm just bleeding like the wazoo. And end up coming back out. Cops finally show up after who knows how long, and that's when you realize, oh, we're on the Phoenix side of Scottsdale Road. Big difference. East side of Scottsdale Road, Scottsdale. West side of Scottsdale Road, Phoenix.
Yeah,
His
different
little Clearland.
jurisdiction.
So we had to wait for Phoenix people. It was
Wow.
for the Phoenix courts, everything.
It's
So
called jurisdiction.
and so long story short on that one, it took almost. I literally basically ran out of my timeline to go after him civilly before my actual criminal case went through.
Oh, okay.
And so he was found guilty, 3 days in jail. He had to pay a couple $1,000s to offset some of my expenses, but I lost out because I was given horrible advice on going after him in
It
general.
happens.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had a lot of first times experiences where I didn't know what to do, was ill-advised by people who wanted to sound smart. And I know much more about it now.
Oh, absolutely. If I ever get assaulted again, I'll know how to handle it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be the only witness, I know that.
Apparently, yeah.
Richard.
See, fortunately,
You
I
didn't mean
had
that.
character people, regular people. I mean, everybody knew everybody, and so there was nothing to this guy. He even had his pastor there speaking on his behalf.
As a part of his defense, it
Because-
doesn't matter what kind of guy you were before last night.
Exactly. It's like you still had your moment of lapse, and you did something stupid, and that's it, you know. And so he, but that part, you know, he got found guilty. He spent a couple days in jail, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But what was crazy is that,
And now he's got a record.
well, yeah, that night, Mom was working at, John C. Lincoln at,
Oh, okay.
and since she had connections with Mindy's, I was in the ER, and I was there just to get checked out. Now, I knew it hurt, but I had no idea anything, right? I've never been assaulted before.
All I knew is I had a broken nose.
Well, I knew I was in pain, but I was going there just to cover my butt,
Right.
basically, right? So at
So
Mindy's,
they're like,
I'm in the ER, there's a huge wait. They get me into Mindy's and take care of me instantly, which was amazing. but they go in for the CAT scan and the x-rays, and I'm sitting there on the table, and I'll never forget this, and she walks in, and here I am, I'm like, so am I okay? And literally, it's like, if she felt so bad at how ignorant I was, because she's like, oh no.
Well, for a puzzle, you're okay, we just gotta put it back together.
Even more than that, she's like, no, your face is completely shattered, yada yada.
Yeah.
We've
Oh, I got your heart filled
we've
with your
already
feet.
called the plastic surgeon, and we're gonna be shipping you over here. Blah blah blah. Like, yeah, and I was like, whoa, seriously?
I had to wait 4 days for the swelling to go down.
They got me in that night.
We were so surprised, but I mean, the extent of the surgery that had to be done, I mean, but again, it's beautiful that the surgeon that did the surgery was there.
Well, same thing to him. You couldn't
I-
tell.
I can-
You
I
would
can
have
show you
no
my-
idea.
Well, if you feel right here, you'll feel the screw, but that's the only giveaway.
It's like the same thing
I'm
with John.
flattered a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, I can show you my slides, and you'd say, oh, okay, he gets it. You can see the blowout fracture where there's nothing under my eye holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I,
exactly.
Were you working both, like, when both of us went into the hospital, like when I broke my arm?
Mhm.
and-
Honey,
That's
I
funny.
was just, yeah, apparently I was supposed to be.
But that's what they said, was that it was basically like he miraculously hit the exact same spot over and over again.
Just pulverized.
And yeah,
It's probably an MMA wannabe.
well,
There's
hindsight,
there's a lot of those in Scottsdale.
hindsight 2020.
Yes.
Football jerseys, right? Everybody's
Right.
wearing Cardinals, everything. These two are wearing soccer jerseys.
Okay.
Soccer hooligans.
Right. Right. And probably an MMA fan.
Well, I would put any true soccer hooligan up against an MMA person, and I'd imagine they don't know how to fight, but they are just
Right.
too dumb and burly to know better.
Exactly. Because the guy who got me from behind, when I jumped up, he was standing there like ready to go. And as soon as I started doing what I do, he ran away.
Yeah.
Ah,
And it was like, why the hell did you do that?
yeah.
That's why I would love. I'm not a fighter, but I would love to like take up jujitsu, so I could learn to grapple
It's
and
exercise.
hold, and you know,
Just
it's
stop
a
people
lot
from
of
hurting
things.
you.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
yeah.
I only go that far, but it's hard to fight a 2x4. Coming at you doing Mach 2.
And without eyes behind your head, it's
Yeah.
really, really tough.
Very true.
It's almost like you need that sixth spidey sense.
Yeah, well, I just happened to turn around, and so instead of taking out my brainstem, he, just did a lot of damage and messed up my processing center.
That's crazy, man.
I just think a little differently now. I thought it would rewire somehow,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's been 10 years now, and I'm used to it, and kind of know what works, what doesn't.
Well, would you have preferred that or frontal lobe issues?
I'll take what I got.
Yeah.
I mean, that over death or paralyzed, blind.
Yeah,
was
I
talking-
mean, we are so grateful, but it just,
Who was I talking to about Phineas Gage the other day? He was, how, although he survived, he lost everything because he just became a big a-hole.
Right. It could have been worse. We
Yeah.
worked with people that have TBIs and stuff,
Yeah, without
Okay.
having, like, Daryl and Carlo, for example,
Yeah.
did you, have you ever heard of him? He used to have a radio
Oh my
show here
gosh.
in the valley,
yes.
and he got in a bad car accident, and he had a bad brain injury,
Oh.
and his sense of what's it called, just social norm and being what is right and wrong to say. Yeah, his social
He
appropriate.
got social anxiety and he
Well,
couldn't
not
do
no,
it.
he just didn't know what was right and wrong. Like he
Well,
would
became
tell,
socially
for example,
inappropriate.
yeah, he would say inappropriate things, and
So
without
he kinda got
had no,
like, what is that?
what's it called, filter, basically.
Right.
And so, as a person on the radio,
Can't do that.
and so they brought in his wife to help out and to kind of help censor him.
Okay.
But unfortunately,
Wasn't
he
enough.
was never the same. And yeah,
Yeah, my social skills have greatly diminished, and I've become very much withdrawn compared to when I was an active, very quick social worker all day, social
Talks
person.
to
all
hundreds
night.
of people, now he talks to 3.
is it
No,
because
I'm
you're
kidding.
is it because you're paranoid, or is it just because you're Not
I make
motivated.
It's
mistakes.
overstimulating.
I make mistakes.
Oh.
A crowd bigger than this makes me very, very nervous. Complicated conversations,
It's like
Don't
it's
always go well.
overstimulus, yeah.
I get the answers wrong. I'm thinking correctly, but what comes out isn't
Yeah.
what I intended.
Do you ever see that house?
It's hard to explain.
So forgive him in advance.
Do you ever see that house where the guy, he had something happen and he when he'd speak, he would say associated words, but it wasn't the word he thought he was saying.
Okay.
And it was just
Like-
it was,
So you,
Verbal dyslexia.
so you can kind of figure out what he's saying, but if he used the right words,
it was
it would've been
associated in some way, shape, or form in his mind.
bad. Okay.
You know, like he said, let's go to the cabin, and he'd say, big brown bear. You know, and it's like, okay, you know, and
Yeah, it's comparable to that.
no, it's so weird. Like the brain is fascinating. You know, it's so.
It is.
incredible.
I've already been given the answer from several doctors. We don't know what to do.
Oh, let me tell you a funny story.
Art.
Are you ready? Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotta go. One of my clients passed away and Alice Cooper had
That's a
made
funny story.
arrangements for him at Holy Cross Cemetery. So I go in as the government representative to sign the papers and get the headstone going and, you know, just get the process going, right?
Yeah.
And so when I signed the paperwork and handed it back to him, he says, "Marilyn Conlon?" And I said, "Yes, sir." And he says, "We're burying you on Sunday." I go, "No, you're not." And he hands me the little card, you know, with the Blessed Virgin Mary on it.
We went. I met some relatives.
And it was Marilyn Conlon, but she was like 70, 100 years old.
That's insane.
And then he said, "Why don't you come? They're lovely people." And I said, "Well, you know, my husband's grandparents were from the Phoenix area. They might
On
be
my mother's side.
related."
I
So
do
they
have-
really were.
I do have a lot of relatives in Arizona that I've never
But
met.
we don't know who they are.
I walked into a bank one time and
No,
the
we
woman wanted to see
went.
my ID to cash my check.
We
And
went
when
on
I
a
put it
funeral
down, she
date.
said, "Oh my God!" And I went, "What's wrong?"
Crashers go.
Because I didn't know
You
why
guys
a
were
banker teller would
We
react like
weren't
that
related,
and
but
not
they were
robbing
like,
the
"Come
place.
on over
And she
to
said,
the house,"
"That's my name
everything
too." And I
like
said, "Your
that.
name
So-
Richard?" She said, "No, I'm a Conlon.
It's
We're
good
having
that you
a
actually
family
met.
get together in a couple of weeks." And I wasn't able to get back to her and find out more about it. So, but funny story, anyway.
So who knows, you might have some relatives and stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
I have a lot
So
of
how
relatives
much
in
do you
this
want
town.
to sell your house for?
Right.
Okay, let me do my square footage work.
You know,
Okay. Put on this. All right. So yeah, let's see. All right. Do you have your number written down?
I do.
Do you have your number written down?
Not yet, please.
Okay.
I was talking too much.
All right. As soon as she has hers, then see whoever wants to go first, because I'm the. Okay. They're representing the sellers, and Grandma's representing the buyer.
so we're gonna
Let's see
try
what
to get the best price. She's gonna try to get the best deal.
We'll see what the discrepancy is between the two.
And it's gonna turn into a 5-year-old argument. Yes, you are. No, you're not. Yes, you are. No, you're not.
And is it interesting how you both are right? You know?
Well, that's cool to know.
So, where are you at tomorrow?
I'm at Health South on Shea, at 96th Street in Shea.
So
To be there at 5:30 in the morning.
That is so early. I wake up at that time.
That's, yeah, you're right.
This is one of the first places they refused to let me go on a tour of the facility. And so I have no idea what it looks like on the inside. No idea the layout. I have
Wait,
no
no.
idea.
Weird. Well, so do you get to show up at least 20 minutes before your students?
That's also the 10:30 this one.
That's a long plan.
3.5 hours.
Okay.
Since yesterday, I already had work at about 8, so I was up for 4 hours. I do that regularly. I
Do
don't
you?
try to. It's just my sleep got disarray. I'm never hungry.
That's why you're always skinny.
Yeah, no, she makes me eat. She reminds me.
Well, if
That's-
I had chocolate, I would give you chocolate.
The more I know about ketogenic
I do.
and the intermittent fasting, you really realize food is a lot of food is a mental thing. You know, oh, we eat at this time. Not necessarily because you need to, it's just what you're used to.
Right, you grow up eating breakfast, you assume you have to eat breakfast when you wake up.
Yeah,
It's a pattern.
yeah. And like I find, you know, like today, I had a late breakfast, early lunch, whatever you want to think of it. I ate about 11:45 or so, and I haven't eaten since.
I had like 5 tater tots and then I
You
ate at like
entire
6. I didn't even eat.
I tried the Mito diet, but it was too expensive, all the bacon. And so now I'm on the Sweeto diet. So the chocolate could work.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's all about the cocoa.
The
or the
sweeter
cacao.
diet.
It's adding sugar, saccharin, artificial sweeteners, aspartame, a big long list of food I can choose.
And just a little more Colgate while you're at it. Yeah, to make sure.
Yeah, well, I'm
avoid
gonna- I got-
the
I'm gonna have them laminated. Just plastic coat them so nothing can touch them.
Perfect.
More sugar.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Okay. So just your number?
It's between here, and we always want to get the best price,
Right.
and, but we don't want to overprice it.
Right.
These boys are bigger, and look where they're coming in at this.
Now, these are 2-story, right? And this is single story?
No, this one's a 2-story, but it's still, what we're looking at is price per square foot.
Right, okay.
And so these are comparables in the square foot of, this is,
They look really good considering.
yeah.
Because I think
I see
on
your thumb right now though.
the, on the first
So,
example, I
they're
think it was
almost 2
163
weeks.
for.
Yeah, no,
square
for
foot.
2 weeks they look really good compared.
I know, they're so long.
You're gonna get them done.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
I think
the
so.
one that closed the most recently,
Okay.
they went on the market for this much, but
Okay.
they ended up getting this much.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna go with Ave Ste.
And based on the square foot,
That's the same as the house. That's the same as your house, sir.
okay.
So, and in the case of this one, which most
I thought
represents
this
yours as well in square footage,
Okay.
it started out at this price and it went up to this price. So,
Oh,
so your
Daddy helped me.
range is
Take
right
this
in
out.
here.
okay.
Oh, really?
Several
So,
years ago.
We could
First
go,
I need to
I mean,
clean
yours
it,
is
I
in
have
such
to
fine shape,
wipe the
your
cans and
your
top and
pool is
sweaters.
better than
This
the others.
Right. It's not
I
green.
don't wanna get rid of
A lot of people prefer that low maintenance landscape, and you've got a watering system in, correct?
Right, and I have desert landscaping, so you don't have to worry about it watering trees and grass.
Uh-huh. So that's valuable as well.
You gotta mow the rocks once a week.
Although, you might have to do some
it.
staging and
Okay.
upgrades.
Oh, that means I get a flat screen.
High.
Okay.
Consider these are like an awful lot.
Now, I gotta be careful with the
So if
upgrades,
you were
because
to-
what I decorated as, or redecorate, the buyer might wanna change anyway.
I agree with you. I wouldn't have you do anything excessive.
Okay,
Okay.
It's just like that one room.
okay, the sunken living room,
Yeah.
okay, I'll raise it up 4 inches.
All right, so this is your range. And if we put it in the market like this, it's like fishing.
Absolutely. And that's a fair start.
Perfect. All right, are you close? So we can
Let's
review
do
it
it.
with mom?
But I need to know what you would accept.
Okay,
Because this is the true price point for the
Yeah.
market.
In this case, for right now, let's go with truly what you think he should list at.
Okay, he's gonna list it.
Hold on.
Ooh,
Okay. Are we ready? You got it written down?
you're willing to accept that?
if I have to, I want this. If it's on the market too long, I'll take this.
All right.
Okay, great deal.
Okay. So now let me just pull this up really quick. Now that you both did that. Perfect. So statistical buyer CMM. All right. Now I just did the neighborhood as a whole, And over the last 6 months, so I didn't do any specific sizes, pools, garages, nothing like that, okay? So right now, according to what I see, there's one active for $450. There have been 4 closed in the last 6 months, averaging
Yes.
about $411.
Yes.
And they're selling for 97% of asking price, about $128 a square foot. So, let's see, Mr. and Mrs. Sellers, where do you think we should come in at?
415.
415. All right, and Mrs. Buyer, where should we come in at?
At 410.
You guys only have a $5,000 difference?
I
my
actually
God.
have because.
Let's
and
do
that's-
business,
and
because
that's
my seller said he'd accept that.
That's at the high. I have actually like 406, 148 at the high, because I just brought up, didn't necessarily do like square footage, but it's in the same neighborhood. So the
Okay.
same subdivision, so same thing, one active, one under contract, one pending, and 8 closed.
I was expecting about a $25,000 difference between the two of you. Truly. So, so you said 415?
Yes, I maximized him at 415, showing him that in what has sold to me has been between 410 and 414.9. So I said we can start here, which is this much more per square foot, so he gets a visual.
Right,
Yeah.
much of the criteria was the amount per square foot and the condition of the property.
Yeah, so it sounds like this one, although it's smaller, but the fact that it had its pool and whatnot
Yeah.
kept it in there.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
So would you
That was
price it at
cool.
415?
Right now, seeing off of what has sold, yeah, that's probably right where I would have come in at.
And
Yeah.
it's interesting because there was one home that started out at 404. They ended up selling it at 378.5.
Wow.
But it was on the market for 6 months.
And it was also on the smaller lot along the bigger street.
Yeah, why do you think that one had to go down so far?
Because it was on the street.
But the
But-
other one,
And it
the
was
other
just
one,
sitting
on-
there. Yeah,
There-
well, it's on a
and
larger
there-
street.
It's
Uh-huh. And then there's-
$120,000 less than the other.
but
Yeah.
look at the one, the
Well,
big
look, it
one was
might
like
have been
4,200 square feet. They started out at 625, but it only sold at 411. And so I thought this was interesting that you have this one way up there, and yet all of these others are anywhere between 2,600 to 3,600 square feet.
So what did you use on your search? What was your criteria that you inputted?
All I did is I put in the subdivision,
Okay.
I put in the garage and the pool.
Okay, because I don't have that. The home you just mentioned, I don't have that.
The one you're talking about that's 378.5?
Yeah.
It was on the market for 158 days. I'd say it was distressed.
Your 406 number was interesting to me
They
because
originally,
if
they
it was on the
originally-
market too long, I'd be willing to accept 409.
Yeah.
they started out at 404, they went down to 385, then they went down to 378
Yeah.
over the course of time. And I find that's true. Every 60 days, the seller will bump down, you know?
Yeah. I try to motivate them a little more. It depends on the average for the neighborhood. Is like yesterday at the meeting, for example, the updated days on market is 65 days. So that's more in line with that.
But yet, there's something about the subdivision, because there was one that was only on the market for not even a week,
Yeah.
that sold just 4,000 under
Yeah.
the asking
They're
price.
asking.
Well,
Yeah, you
Josh,
got
your
Flint.
marketing to get people they're interested in the property is amazing. It doesn't just sit there for 60 days wondering if anyone's gonna come by.
And that's why, like, when we run ads, for example, like the new listing, I'll run that new listing ad for 2 weeks. Okay? So for 14 days, it's out there getting out to everybody.
And then tweak it.
After the 14th day, it's like, okay, well, what can we do? Let's do some open houses.
Right.
Boom, get it back out there to everybody.
Keep
Open
it
house,
active.
open house, open
Yeah.
house. For
Okay.
the next 2 weeks, and then if it doesn't get
How do you
sold,
do that? How do you put new listing and, how do you put new listing? price markers on that, or does that automatically
It's,
come?
I'm not in the MLS, this is like through our Real Geeks
But I
advertising
do
and
see
things like
that
that.
on my MLS.
What?
That's automatic, and it
Oh.
automatically, it's new listing for 3 days. Your anything you do is about 3 days. So any price reduction, things like that. So, yeah,
Oh, I would have fun with my seller. I'd say let's reduce it by $1,000 every 2 weeks, so it gets more entertaining.
that's one method people do.
That is a very good, I just thought of that.
Yeah.
I didn't know people did that.
It's one of those things to keep it in front of people. The problem is, if it doesn't work right away, people catch on to the cycle, right? And so I've had that go both ways.
Oh, that's.
It's almost like, well, let's keep waiting to see if they keep dropping it down, and then yeah.
It's better just to do the.
Well, that's a good debate. Is it better to do one big drop after a while, or is it better to do incremental drops more often?
Hey,
But do you want them to be like significant incremental drops, you know,
Or we could add something like an incentive. Seller willing to contribute $5,000 towards closing costs. That, like.
Incentives are good, but at the same time, how do you get the people to get their eyeballs on it?
Right.
If you're like here, for example, let's pretend we are. Let's go Zillow. All right. So for example, we want to check out Homes and Surprise, right?
Is it okay if I call him Godzilla?
Here's all people see. Here's all people see.
Oh.
All right. So unfortunately, incentives, as wonderful as they are, don't necessarily get more clicks.
Right, because
Right?
it's not saying that
Oh.
in the
Unless
headline.
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the only
thing that
catch
goes in
with
the
those.
headline is, yeah, okay, you can't.
They're
Right,
great
so-
for like Facebook ads because they lead off with verbiage, right?
You can add
Buyer
So-
incentive, $25, closing,
Oh,
something
okay.
like that.
There's just no
so
room
what's your thought
Yeah,
based on
ZillowRealtor.com,
what we
none of the
both,
websites like that.
what we both kind of pulled up, and then, you know, what we thought would be a good selling price versus a buying price?
Yeah, and right now, I guess we're falling right in line with the market. People are willing to pay pretty dang close to what people are asking. You saw 97%
Nice.
was what they were selling for. So I guess I shouldn't have been as surprised by you guys coming in as close as you did.
You're proud of us.
Well, you did very good on your buyer side, and your how you did the window is exactly that was exactly yeah because it's like, well, do you it's the good, better, best, or do we want to try to create a frenzy?
It's not a best and highest by midnight market.
Speaking of Hyacinth, I'll be right back.
Okay, please do.
Oh,
Okay.
one other thing that changed?
Cool.
I developed this really wacky sense of humor, and stuff will just fall out of my mouth. It surprises me too. So I apologize in advance forever.
Richard,
good.
I don't know about Maryland, but I don't think we would take you any other way.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're awesome.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to because I can't change anymore.
So
we didn't get an answer to that.
what's that?
I said, is it better to reduce in increments or in chunks?
It's
I
going to
think
be up
it's
to your
a-
owners. It's
Come
going to be
on,
up to your
Because
situation.
every
What do you
deal-
think?
Every deal is totally different. I think it depends on where
But how do
this is at.
realtors view it? Because they're the ones that are giving their buyers advice.
Again,
Because this is what I say to my clients. I say, if it's been on the market for 60 days, we have a
Yes.
better chance of negotiating a better price.
Mhm.
If you're looking at a hot property and it appraises, we got no say. We gotta offer what they're asking, and then I can work on, maybe getting some closing costs, maybe getting you a home warranty. I mean, I can get you things that could add up to a couple of grand, but if it's only been on the market for a few days, you've gotta entertain that price.
Yeah. Like, for example, using these comps right here as an example, right?
So did you do that on that, on the same address?
like this home right here. let's just say this brand new listing on Toledo, right? 450,000, 1 day on the market, $134 a square foot, right? That one, if you're representing the buyer, that's going to be a little tougher because it's the first day on the market, you know, and that makes it much tougher to say, yeah, you know, but it's very tough to say they're not going to, you never want to say they're not going to accept it, but the likelihood of them accepting it is much less, right?
Right,
And then if
because look at, there's one pending, that's 592 as well, and if you know what 592 means, I do teach people what MLS numbers mean. We don't know exactly for what it's sold for, but it is a true comparative. It is, West Flint is a true comparative, the pending West Flint. It's the same size, it's very close to it, Toledo is priced right, so, but it's been on the market for such a short term.
Yeah.
But even the under contract
And West Flint supports that price.
Yeah, 131,
So
25,
let's-
134. So, kind of fast forwarding, the first couple weeks, it's very tough. And to predict anything is really hard. It's kind of depends on the seller's motivation. And that's where our job is. You know, the moment we start talking to anybody, especially in sellers markets, the moment they're interested, hey Marilyn, I got clients interested in your property. Are we able to go take a look at it tomorrow? And you'll be like, yeah, that's great. Oh, by the way, that's fantastic. Do you know why? You know, and you try to find out why are your clients selling their home? What's their motivation? Are they needing to sell this home to buy a new home? And you're trying to get as much information before you even set foot in that property to start segueing,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then if that conversation goes well, it's like, that's great. We're gonna go take a look
And I
tomorrow.
always check county for what they bought it for.
Eventually, yeah, absolutely.
No, I did. I said, look how much you made.
Yeah.
In equity, this is a good chunk. Now let me tell you what your cost will be.
Yeah, on the listing appointment, I mean, and all that stuff. But when you're representing the buyer, for example, that's from the moment you start showing the property, you're already laying the foundation for if they might want it in the future, right? From the moment you're trying to find their motivation and you're like, great, we're gonna go take a look tomorrow. By the way, my clients are awesome. They are new first-time buyers. If they love this home, it's gonna be great. You know, and you're already trying to.
Well, I have been more of a buyer's representative than I have been a listing agent in my experience. So I like to learn the listing side of it too.
Yeah.
But I tell buyers that you have to see and be in the home, and it will come to you. So and I'll pound the ground till we find the right home for you, because I really feel that people know the home they want once they're inside of it.
Absolutely. I told Susan 100 times, and I will continue to tell her until it happens. The right home happens at the right time for the right buyer.
Another thing is, if they ask me questions about the neighborhood, I say the best thing to do is go to the supermarket because all your neighbors have to eat.
I love all the little tricks like that. Yes.
And if the cashiers are friendly, I'm in.
That's weird. Did Tatiana tell you what she found today? Oh well, her blah blah blah. Her supermarket guy, she's been speaking to for years. Come to find out, he's the owner of the little supermarket, and he actually owns like 7 businesses, and he wants to start investing in property.